Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I'm starting to show you what we got done yesterday. We started right here. This is the corner of the existing property, and all the braces are in, so I'm going to show you what we did. This is all timeless, treated post, 5-wire, along a major blacktop. We've got a 46-inch is the top wire, and the bottom wire is 9 inches, and then the other 3 wires are 9 inches apart. And this is a really effective fence when you have cattle that are trained to hot wire. Now, if you went and bought some cattle at the sale barn and came out here and just dumped them out in that pasture, that would not be a good thing to do. You need to get your cattle hot wire trained. So you need a hard surface corral, steel panels, and run a hot wire on the inside of those steel panels. Let them get shocked, and within about a day, they kind of know what this little smooth wire is all about, and it is nothing to mess with. We call it a psychological fence, mental. Okay, it's not a physical fence; it's a psychological. And when they get shocked, they do not like it. But I tell you what, we built a lot of fence yesterday. We didn't get started till 10, and I think we knocked off about 4:30. And I need to come back and tighten that one. We forgot to tighten that one. I don't have a wrench with me. Anyway, those are the tensioners, the springs that we just passed. It makes a really effective fence when you have animals that are trained, and don't let your animals get hungry. You know, move them. That's a big one too. So you can see what we're doing on the wood post. I'll just stop here, right here, real quick. We're using the Kinlock wood insulators. This isn't hot yet. We don't have it powered up. And then the ground wire, of course, you can just use a staple to staple it. Don't staple it tight. You want it where it can give. And then the Kinlock staple Kinlock. So all the hot wires have a Kinlock insulator on them. And these posts, they are made by Sentinel. I'm gonna give you here's the. See if y'all can. Well, I got my fumble fingers in the way, but I want y'all to see these. Get the address there. As far as I'm concerned, this is the only treated post you want to buy. I put some of these in 1991, and I had a guy say, "Oh yes, all them things only good for 15 years, 20 years. They're done." Well, that's not the truth. Not if you buy Sentinel. I've had some in since 1991, and the darn things are just as solid today as they were in 1991. And that was a fair time ago. Okay? That was the year I built my new house out behind the log cabin. That's why I remembered it. Anyway, they line our driveway. You can come up our driveway. As you come up, those are on 5-strand barbed wire fence, and between me and the neighbor. And we put those up when I sold the cabin off. Anyway, use Sentinel. They're treated, and them darn things will last. Use anything else, they're probably going to rot off, and like the older gentleman said, he'll appreciate me calling him older gentleman, Ben. I love Ben. Ben Coleman's my buddy. He's up there at Calio. Yeah, if you're ever down and out, you need cheering up, go see Ben Coleman. That guy is a true treasure. I'm just glad that Jan and I have him as one of our grazing buddies. But yeah, this was all put up in one day, folks. This is a pretty long stretch through here. And then we come around the corner, and we're going to, I'm just going to take you all the way around it. I'll show you what we did in one day. So we made this corner, and this is a little short jaunt right here. And we don't have the gate. I've got the gate, I just don't, we ran out of daylight last night, but it'll be hung today. And we're hoping to get these bulls and steers in here maybe this weekend, if we have a good day today and we don't get rained out. So here's where we buried the line. It goes, you can see the leads on this side. There they are. Those are the leads coming out of that pipe. So they go underground, so you don't have anything showing up above. Then this section we took down to the corner, and now we're on Bubbas and Dijon's property. They've got 13 acres here that we've worked out a grazing arrangement with. We just came off of our new 7 acres we just bought 3 weeks ago. So we're on Bubbas. Look at this, folks. That's all big blue stem. I'm sorry, guys. I had my fingers in the camera. That's all big blue. There's a little bit of fescue in there. They'll clean that up. I'm going to let them clean it up. And now everybody talks about burning big blue stem. Folks, we can't burn it. There's a house right here. I'm not going to destroy my wire and my post. If you graze it right, I've got big blue stem on my farm that's been there for 30 years, and I've never burned it once. So, yeah. So we made the corner. Now we're going to come down. There's another set of springs and tensioners. So for every corner that you make a new corner, you've got to put in another set of tensioners and springs. Here's a real short little run here. There's Bubba and John's house. They're moving in. I think they may already be moved in. I know they had the big band in yesterday moving their furniture. There's another set of tensioners. This is what we got done, folks, in about 6 hours yesterday. Here's some more. So we ended up, it was almost dark when we got done over here last night. Still see a few of those tensioners need some more wraps put on them, but we'll do that in the daylight now. There it is. Okay, so this morning we're going to start here. And going down through that woods there, we got to put in a fiberglass H-brace back in there. We couldn't get equipment in there. The only equipment is 2-legged equipment. So that's what we're going to do this morning. Try and finish that up. We got a steel gate going in right there where that Jenny's at. They wanted a walkway entrance into their farm here, so they can walk through their timber. So that, you know, when you get grazing rights, folks, that's what you got to do. You got to work with the landowner, and he wanted this, so we put it in. There's going to be a 6-foot gate right there, wide enough that he can get his 4-wheeler through it, and they can walk through it. It's going to have a nice, easy latch on it that you can open without messing with a chain or anything like that. So, anyway, I think the boys are probably just about here. They're probably wondering where I'm at. They may not be yet. I got the bulls done. They had a bunch more paddocks to put up than I did. I'm moving 55 head. They're moving 350 head. But folks, it doesn't take any more time to move 350 than it does 50. You just open the gate and let them rip. Isn't that a nice looking fence though? Yeah, that's what they got right there next to their house. And we've got another 2-acre tract on the other side of the house over there. It goes right down the driveway. We've got all the H-braces. We got the post driven. We don't have the H-braces assembled yet. But we can do that next week. Right now I'm just trying to get this part all in because this goes with the tract that we just bought and the 6-acre tract that we leased on the far west end of this property. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. For water, we're going to let them walk back to the pond for right now. We got a gate on it by the pond, and they can drink off the water drop skirt we put in, a limited skirt. And then we'll get the water tank fixed. But right now, we can't do it. It's just too wet to get a mini hoe down in there to dig that out. And there's proper tools to use for proper things. And Ian has a comment, Ian, my old friend from Africa. By the way, we're going to be having that grading school again this year, folks. And Ian's getting back with me for sure on the dates, but it looks like it's going to be the 1st of May, held here at Green Pastures Farm. And Ian and I have been doing those since 2007. So it's quite a deal. 3 days. We have classrooms, we have pasture walks, and you get access to Ian and myself and all the questions you want answered. And you know, there's no need going out and spending tens of thousands of dollars on stuff you don't need to be doing. Or worse than that, you put it in and it's not where you want it. You didn't need it, and now you got to rip it out. Yep, that's right. That's not a fun way to start. You just bought the farm, you put in a bunch of infrastructure, and it's not where you want it. What are you gonna do with it? Well, it's in the way, you gotta take it out. And so you just really wasted a lot of time, a lot of money. Probably didn't need to put a lot of that stuff in. So anyway, check that out. But Ian's quote, I forgot where I was going. Oh, time, yeah. Time is money. Money is, time is money. So if you're gonna spend a lot of time on something, that is costing you money. So where I'm going with that is that hole down there we got to dig around that pond. Me and the boys could go down and we could dig that out. It'd probably take us all day to dig it deep enough to get down there where we can actually move the pipe around enough to get a splice on it. So it'd be 3 of us down there in the mud for a day, digging down 4 feet deep you got to dig it back 4 or 5 feet to have enough room to move the pipe around to get your new piece on. Or you can bring Johnny in there and you can have it done with a mini hoe in about, 10 minutes. I mean, he can have it dug in 10. Granted, you're not going to get it fixed in 10, but he can get that hole dug in 10 to 15 minutes. It'd take you all day to dig that hole. And he's going to dig it nice and big where you have plenty of room to get down there and work. So I've learned as I went along, in my younger years, I spent a lot of time, wasted a lot of time working on stuff when it had been a lot more economical if I had just went and, got somebody to bring the right tool in there and built it. It's just like this fence. Folks, we just started on this week. We drove the posts. Justin came in here on Monday, drove those posts, and then, of course, we worked on it Christmas Eve day, building braces. And, of course, we were off Christmas, and then the day after Christmas, we finished assembling the posts. And then yesterday, we got all the wire put up. That's a lot of ground to cover, but I had a post pounder. I had a guy bring in a post pounder. We have a digger now that goes on a skid steer that digs those holes for us. We like digging a 6-inch hole and driving a 7-inch post in it. And I'm telling you what, he was slapping that pounder with Justin Hess here in Sturgeon. He's got a post pounder. It's 800 pounds. He can slap one in like, some of these posts went in like half a minute. Some of the ones that were a little drier, I don't know what it is about this road here, this gravel road. Every one of those posts that we pre-dug, the bottom of the hole was powder dry. I mean powder dry. But all the other posts along at Route F out there and around the woods and such, they were sticky. The holes were sticky, 4 foot down. But along this gravel road, those things were powder dry. And those are the ones that took a little longer to pound. It's like pounding into concrete. But yeah. And Justin, him and his dad Stan, they came and I had a massive pile of old nasty wire here. Or actually Bubba did. This is Bubba's property. It's right there. Folks, there must have been, well, it was stacked 5 feet tall and 5 feet across, and they came here and they hauled all that off. Every bit of it's gone. And now I don't have to worry about my cows getting into that wire. And it's just old rusty, nasty wire, barbed wire. Just roll after roll after roll of it. The only part we saved was this. And this is the wire that Brian had just put up right here. Right on this corner and down this road. So that's good wire. Of course, we pulled all the posts and saved them. Some of them need to be found in the fork of a tree with a strong young man like Isaac and get that bend out of it. Most of them pulled straight up. They're pretty good posts. So I'm going to sell these. Anybody needing some steel posts, give us a holler. Or we may sell them as scrap if they don't get bent back correctly. But anyway, there's a lot of work to do yet. There's a lot of areas that we need to clean up. But we're going to bring the cattle in. We're going to bring the cattle in, and they're going to do a lot of the work for us. They'll get all this beat down, and you can kind of see what you got. And we're going to get a lot of good grazing out of this Kentucky 31. I love, there's a guy wrote me an email. I didn't respond to it because I think he kind of wanted to get in an arguing match with me. And I don't know if it was that or he just stating his facts on his side, but I don't think he liked it me very much promoting Kentucky 31 fescue. As he called it, I think it was he called it dirty fescue. And I'm like, well, I've been making pretty darn good living for 35, 40 years on dirty fescue. And I'm not going to go broke trying to kill this stuff. So I didn't respond. I think he kind of wanted to get in a sparring match. And I'm like, yeah, if you want to plant your fescue, go for it. But, I'm going to stay with what I got. Because it's here. It didn't cost me a red cent. I don't care how much you beat this stuff up. It just comes right back. And I kind of like it. I do. I kind of like Kentucky 31 because I've learned how to manage it. And the way you manage Kentucky 31 is you don't do total graze on it. You don't take it to the dirt and take it all. You will have a wreck. You absolutely will have a wreck. Keep some diversity in it. This hasn't been grazed in 2 years, 2.5 years. And so that's why you see a solid stand of fescue here. But there's some orchard grass in here, right here. There's orchard grass right there. And it's still green. It's because it's being protected by the fescue from the freeze. There's some brome in here. I'll say this about Brian. He was a previous owner, Brian Lease. He had good diversity in his pastures. He really did. I mean, this is a big blue stem here. This is a warm season. It's mixed in with the fescues. He had some brome. He had some clover. There's patches of Lespedeze. There's even some alfalfa in here in places. So, that's part of it. Keep diversity in your fescue. Don't graze it to the ground. Don't do a total graze on it. And move them. Keep them moving. And you'll get along just fine with fescue, Kentucky 31. And I see the boys coming. I got to get out of here. We're going to try and finish this fence up. Folks, you all have a good one, and we'll see y'all next time.